before humanity first set foot on this earth, another kind of beings walked its surface, utterly unlike us. In the beginning, their existence was harmonious. Peace reigned among them, and the world thrived in quiet order. But as eras passed, they lost sight of virtue, giving in to arrogance and cruelty. They came to believe their power made them immune to justice. Their hearts hardened to empathy, and darkness overtook their ways. Eventually, a verdict descended from heaven itself. The Almighty dispatched a legion of angels, and with them were faithful Jinn, who longed for truth. Among these was a figure of immense stature, a beacon of wisdom and fervor. He stood as a teacher amongst the angels, guiding them with knowledge, leading them with courage. He became the champion for what was right, steering this celestial force into battle, until at last they returned tranquility to Earth's wounded soil. The territory over which he presided flourished, yet the tale is not as it seems. This was the hidden life of Azazel, the one who, before being cast down, was exalted and honored. Today, we journey deep into his unknown story, a chapter erased from the memory of most. You are about to uncover the mystery of Azazel before his rebellion, long before the curse of being cast away stained his legacy forever. As we begin this exploration together, let us know which corner of the world you're listening from. Your presence matters, and sharing your voice brings our community closer in reflection and wonder. Now, if your heart is ready, come, let us return to the dawn of creation and witness the transformation of one who would become known to all as Shaitan. Across every land, within every ancient faith, we find echoes of a shadowy figure, a deceiver, an adversary, a whisperer of doubts. In the tales of the Greeks, he is Hades. For the Zoroastrians, Angra Mainyu. In Egypt, Set. Among mystics, Samael. In Jewish and Christian stories, a fallen one called Azazel. In Syriac traditions, Asiel. To the Arabs, Horus. The names differ, yet the role is always familiar. A being who leads astray, weaving disarray. How did this archetype become so universal across all cultures and epics? To answer, we must journey back to creation's earliest echo, to the era before Adam, when Azazel moved among the elite, teaching angels, radiant with devotion. Before mankind's birth, a race called John roamed the world, but after John came the Jinn, and Azazel was among them. We learn of them in Scripture. Certainly, we created man from molded clay, from dark mud shaped into form. And before him, we created the Jinn from a smokeless fire. Surah ar-Rahman. In Christian and Jewish traditions, Shaitan is often imagined as a fallen angel. Yet according to the Quran, his origin is Jinn, not angel, and the distinction is absolute. From the words of the Quran, we said to the angels, "Bow down to Adam," and they all did, except for Iblis. He was one of the Jinn, and he disobeyed his Lord's command. Surah al-Kahf. The name Iblis is said to mean despairing one, a title given after his fall. Once, he was known as Azazel, shining among angels in beauty and light. At the dawn, the John people resided in the heights, the skies, perhaps another star, another reality unknown to us. Yearning for the earth, they prayed for permission to settle here, pledging obedience. For countless centuries, they inhabited the world as caretakers, tasked to worship and recognize their creator. Each soul had the gift and burden of free will. Legends tell of 70,000 tribes among the Jann, worshiping the divine until their hearts strayed. Injustice and open rebellion spread. Messengers were dispatched, The first was Amir bin Imr, whom they slew, and then others met the same end. With corruption rampant, Azazel led a campaign to restore balance, commanding armies against the fallen Jinn. Their campaign conquered the rebels, sweeping them from the face of earth. Scripture recounts, "O assembly of jinn and mankind, did messengers not come from among you, reciting my verses and warning you of this day?" Surah Az-Zumar. After this, sovereignty was entrusted to the jinn. Azazel oversaw a company of angels and jinn alike, his zeal unmatched. His worship surpassed all others. In recognition of such fervor, Azazel was elevated to the celestial realms, lingering for hundreds of years in each heaven. Such was his sincerity. His station rose ever higher until he dwelt even amidst paradise itself. There, his wisdom benefited all angels, who sought his counsel and gathered at his feet as students. Yet destiny was being written. One day, angels reading the preserved tablet, the Law al-Mahfuz, saw a grim prophecy. One dearly beloved by the divine would incur wrath, forever cast out. Approaching Azazel, they shared their dread. He comforted them, assuring, "This fate is neither for you nor for me. I've witnessed that verse for ages." Despite their pleas, he prayed only half-heartedly, unable to imagine the warning applied to him. Arrogance had silently entered his spirit. In other accounts, Azazel himself read the warning, asking, "Who is this shaitan?" And the divine responded, "He is a servant whom I bless, but who defies my command, so I shall disgrace and banish him." "Let me find and destroy him," Azazel demanded. The reply came, "Soon you will know him." Allowed to move freely between heavens and earth, commanding angels and jinn, Azazel's achievements began to swell in his chest. Pride seeped in unnoticed. And here the seeds of shaitan were sown. The lesson is timeless. Position and worship alone are not enough. When pride takes root, it blinds even the most virtuous. Now dawns the momentous act, the creation of Adam. The Almighty declared, "I am placing a vicegerent upon the earth." The angels wondered, "Will you make there one who will corrupt and spill blood, while we praise and sanctify you?" The reply, "I know what you do not know." Surah al-Baqarah. Upon hearing this declaration, Azazel's heart grew restless. Rumors spread among the angels. If another is to inherit earth, are we to lose our stewardship? Azazel imagined, surely this new being will be radiant like us and fall under my guidance. But the reality confounded him. Understanding he would not command this creation, he resolved, as he had once driven the Jinn from earth, so too would he drive out this new race if deemed necessary. The scripture declares, "Your Lord said to the angels, I am creating a mortal from clay, shaped from black mud." Surah al-Hijr. Shaitan mused, "If this mortal is fashioned from mere soil, does not dominion remain with me? For I am formed from fire." To him, fire possessed purity and rank. Earth, lowliness. Arrogance distorted his judgment. The future belonged to power, he believed, not humility. When Adam's form was sculpted, a marvel unknown to any world, the angels and Azazel studied it. Adam towered from earth to the clouds. Azazel scrutinized the inanimate body, even passing through it and exploring its emptiness. He observed the frailty of this creature, dismissing the idea that such a weak being should inherit the earth. But the divine already knew the pride festering within Azazel. The moment had come for the breath of life to enter Adam. He who created death and life to test which of you is best in deeds. He is the mighty, the forgiving. Surah al-Mulk. The soul entered through Adam's head, spreading to his body, gifting him flesh and bone. The Creator shaped Adam, breathing from his own spirit. He gave you hearing, sight, and hearts, yet how little you give thanks. Surah as-Sajdah. What is the soul's true nature? Its secret eludes us still. They ask you about the soul. Say, the soul is of my Lord's command. You have been given only a little knowledge. Surah al-Isra. When the spirit reached Adam's mouth, life burst forth, and he sneezed. Standing near, Gabriel said, "Say, all praise be to God." Adam spoke those sacred words, and the reply descended, "My mercy be upon you." His gaze opened to Eden's orchards, his senses alive, desire awakening, yet his body not fully animated, unable to move. "Do not hurry, O Adam," Gabriel advised. "Mankind is always hasty." Surah al-Isra 11. All this while, Azazel harbored envy and unrest, yet kept silent. Finally, Adam was seated in honor. The time came, the decree was given. We said to the angels, "Bow down before Adam." All bowed, save for Iblis. He belonged to the Jinn and violated the Lord's order. Al-Kahf. The prostration was a sign, not of worship to Adam, which belongs to Allah alone, but an act reflecting obedience to the divine command. Azazel, in refusal, crossed the threshold into disbelief. It was then his name and station changed forever. "O Iblis, what prevented you from prostrating to what I crafted with my own hands?" Iblis retorted, "I am not one to bow before a mortal made from clay, from blackened mud." And so came the sentence, "Depart. Cursed shall you remain until the day of reckoning." Humiliated, Iblis pleaded for respite. "My Lord, spare me until the day when all are raised again." What mercy! Permission was granted, a temporary reprieve. But Iblis, twisted by his wounded pride, swore his oath. "As you have sent me astray, I shall waylay them, lying in wait on your straight path. I will ambush from in front, behind, and from all sides, seeking to draw them away. You will find most ungrateful." Thus the verdict: "Begone, disgraced and accursed, all who follow you. I swear I will fill hell with you together." Commentators describe that these words mean Shaitan lost every trace of his former radiance, his beauty deformed, his angelic image ruined. And let us be clear, this was not a challenge to the Almighty, not an argument, but the last words of a servant, cast out and eternally shamed. Later, Paradise's bounty was offered to Adam, and as slumber overcame him, his mate Hawa was formed from his side. O humanity, fear your Lord who created you from one soul, and from it created its mate, then spread from both many men and women. Surah An-Nisa. Adam and Hawa dwelled in Eden, permitted every delight save for one forbidden tree. As part of the test, Iblis reappeared in paradise. He whispered cunningly, "Your Lord only forbids this tree to keep you from becoming angels or immortals." He gave false oaths, vowing sincerity. First, Shaitan tempted Adam, but Adam resisted, loyal to his promise. Then, turning to Hawa, he whispered again. She tasted the fruit, and, finding herself unharmed, urged Adam likewise. Adam, forgetting his pledge, followed. The instant the fruit's taste reached them, their modesty vanished. Their bodies exposed, and shame overwhelmed them. They covered themselves with leaves, but the verdict had been given. The divine voice spoke. "Descend from here. From now, some of you will be enemies to others. For a time, you will dwell upon the earth, finding sustenance and shelter there." Thus unfolded the end of the Jinn, the emergence of Adam, and the transformation of Azazel into Shaitan, Iblis. How tragic, how profound. One who was raised to the highest ranks fell to utter ruin. Never again would Iblis find friendship with Adam. He knew forgiveness would never touch him. His loathing of humankind was sealed, and he became the sworn adversary, dedicating every moment to seduction and distraction. For him, no scheme or snare was forbidden in his quest. So began his efforts to drag others into error, using every artifice to lure humanity away from the truth. This, the devastation of the Jinn, the forging of Adam, and the descent of Shaitan, is a lesson for all seekers. In future episodes, we will journey deeper into these mysteries. Before you go, join your spirit with ours. Subscribe, share your thoughts and reflections in the comments, and let your presence illuminate our circle. May your search for meaning be guided, and your heart be at peace, until we gather again.